All right, hello. Welcome to the London Open session on Wednesday, August 19, 2026. Here we are after a quite large range to the downside yesterday. Hello, digging into that lower discount rate that I was having annotated. And now trading back inside of this entire range from this high to this low. This candle open is 35.5. This candle's close is 35.25. So there is a slight little difference there. All right, so we are working off of this busy currently. After taking the Asian session low, sells a liquidity into a discount ray, price displaced, formed a busy, traded into the busy, couldn't reach the consequent encroachment, body staying outside of it, bullish, expanded again, formed another inefficiency in form of a busy, and digged deeper into this range from high to low. So yeah, the buy side liquidity up here is looking quite substantially clean. This high and this high. So yeah, this is something that I'm currently expecting and or looking for, potentially on the upside, clearing out the relatively cool highs, partial liquidity. As a potential next draw on the on price. So yeah, this 5-minute interval gap is even validated by the weekly quadrant level. Here's the buy side. I'm not saying that it will continuously necessarily need to go higher and stuff like that, but going there for the session makes probably most sense. 2 more minutes until the silver bullet hour to start. Yeah, this still could be like a Judas also. Judas higher, clear the relative equal highs, and eventually make a lower low on the day later today. I wouldn't be that surprised about that. I still think that we have quite a bit more room to go lower. Consequent encroachment of the weekly suspension block is here. So we could definitely challenge this octane 345. And that would make a good sense though, I feel like. So we'll see. 3 a.m. started. The fair gap that I personally like a lot is this one. And let's see, because price is dropping. Let's see how that would look like. Using this busy stop loss theoretically or technically around here. So one contract with this stop would be as far as I could go. Well. All right. So yeah, technically we have like this inefficiency here, BC, then this premium week, which is a discount week now, and this inefficiency here. So these are three PD arrays inside of this couple of candles that are discount. And yeah, I like to use this one though, and I would like to see price stay in the upper half of this one, ideally. For the record, I guess. But we just closed below this one here, tap into this week. So let's watch and see, with the idea that it may probably gravitate lower here. Let's cancel the order for now, and let's just watch order flow on the 5-minute here for a bit. I will be skipping to 1 minute for some time also, but the 5-minute has the cleanest structure around here. So yeah, generally we should not see any closing outside of this consecutive encroachment. If we do, then I would stay away from it for now. I can even grade this completely here with all the levels. All right, first touch into it here. Quite nice reaction off of that, to be honest. That's where my original limit would be, or were, or was. But yeah, I want to see a little bit more into off of that. Let's see. Because theoretically, if it will move strongly away from here, and there is still a little bit of range left, I can go to like 1 minute and still possibly find some fair value gap in theory, while not necessarily engaging within a condition that might be iffy. Because yeah, the initial reaction here was nice, but I don't know how this candle will close. All of this is trying to tell me that it wants to close higher and be like a bullish candle, but it has 50 seconds to go. It may turn around and close, near the low, and that's changing the dynamic a little bit. So yeah, we're trading into a small little 1 minute premium for value gap that so far is resisting price and not allowing it to pass. We also have this premium wick that we went above it, so the Kosku encroachment should not see a close below it. Yeah, slightly but below it. And these two things are already a little bit suspect to me. Still fighting with this little inefficiency here. So yeah, I mean, generally it should be bullish still, right? To me, that is slightly suspect so far. That's why I'm deferring my engagement, because initially I wanted this high as a long, and would I stay with this? I would basically nail the low tick of this and get along with this little pop. Can it go to the buy side here? Sure. I mean, maybe, but while digesting price, I felt like it's a little bit suspect. I still feel this way, that it's a little bit suspect, which makes me think that I should just wait and or defer my interest unless something new is presented that's removing the doubt. Right, all right. So far, yeah, it popped above the short-term high, and that's about it. Kind of like left those equal highs on the bodies, but now we see a measure of retracement. So again, I'm suspecting that we may see a return back into this busy again. And then based on how we do that, I'll be interested in potentially engaging or not. Uh, Again, as I said, I believe, or I want to believe, or I just have chosen this equal highs in here as a potential draw on liquidity for my setup and or idea. And that's what I'm going for. That's my draw on equity. Yeah, 15-minute candle closed there and it formed a fair value gap and we're busy on the 15-minute at the same time. Basically, that's where the 5-minute fair value gap, the busy is. So they overlap the ranges. So that's the PD array that I want to watch and see whether it offers any sensitivity there. And yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, maybe I could set up the double view in here. Well, I could, but Okay, 1 minute on the right. 5 minutes here. So I just don't need to like jump all the time from one to the other. I can see both at the same time. So yeah, the upper discount fair value gap shows some discount sensitivity around here. Look at the bodies respecting the upper half of it on the 1 minute chart and the displacement that followed. It formed this inefficiency here and possibly forming a Bessie right there. Yeah, those equal highs though at 29 609.50. That's kind of where I suspect it's going to. Hmm. Thanks, Danielle. So yeah, there is one reason why I'm not necessarily a fan of taking this busy, and the main reason is we had a high, slightly higher high, and so kind of like relative equal highs, and now we are taking it again into a key level here, and this busy feels a little bit suspect in my mind. Like we're just taking the bicep here, returning to it and trading higher. Well, maybe not impossible, but yeah. Well, leaving this open is actually way more, I mean, more ideal, I would say. This is interesting little one because it lays over top of a quadrant here. And if it's really, really strong, if it's really, really bullish, I would like to see this be nicely respected and send the price higher. But yeah, considering the equal highs are the draw, we already are a little bit extended into the range, right? So we are in the premium of that range in itself. So buying in here just because might be a little bit ambitious. By the way, it already traded below the consequent encroachment on the first candle. There is this down candle which is a potential bullish order block. So now this to me is a little bit suspect. And I wouldn't be too surprised if they draw the price all the way down there again. Mr. Ashley SUV, please stop stop trying to teach me and point where I'm wrong or not. I know what I'm doing, and if you will keep on caps locking your comments, I will just block you. Well, I mean, to be honest, right now at this moment, I feel like the equal highs are kind of like the bait, and I feel like they won't give it a run to those equal highs just now, and they are trapping people to keep on chasing this rally. And the real draw would be back into this busy again, in my mind. Potentially, right? I'm not saying for sure. I'm not looking for this distraction, my friend. I'm not here for getting baited. If you don't want to, then don't watch it, okay? Then it's not for you. So another busy was formed here, and again slightly, but we close below the consequent encroachment. This one open below. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to turn around right away, but these little things like that make me more I don't know, kind of like careful when it comes to getting the full draw. Doesn't mean that it can't go there. It might, but these are little signs that the order flow on this time frame may not be as bullish as you would expect, maybe. Well, regardless, we'll see. I mean, even if it goes there, I mean, regardless whether it goes there or not, this is a worthwhile tape reading experience. But yeah, at this moment, I'm suspecting that these equal highs may be a bait, and even if we are going to clear them out eventually, we might see a deeper retracement before that happens, and that's kind of what I'm suspecting. Somewhat of a deeper retracement before that happens. Right, no close below those BCs, so no inversion for value gaps in play. So yeah, with the weeks, it's reaching like deep into those inefficiencies, deep discounts off of those inefficiencies, which means that it should have been like really expanding higher aggressively out of that for various reasons, right? First of all, we are very close to the buy side, so it should be accelerating. Second of all, after we reach into a deep discount inside of an inefficiency with a week, then come back, it usually should be met with some speed afterwards, right? Because otherwise that's just a bait. And that's kind of what I'm anticipating here. So rejection block, hit right there, and price is actually rejecting that quite a bit. We have a week that's relatively long. Consecutive encroachment. Yeah, about to go below that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'd consider going short in this area. Anticipating a dive deeper. Okay, so I will allow myself 2. And I will change to this chart because the other one doesn't show my executions in the full size. And yeah, my idea is very simple. I'm fading the bullishness a little bit and anticipating at least a retracement, a deeper retracement, a deeper discount, or a larger, more important high to be formed. Using these as inversion for value gaps. And now this busy, I want to it right away give up the ghost, right? So we want to see close below it ASAP, right? A nice large down candle. I like to see that. So now you kind of know where people are with their longs, right? With their stop losses. It's either this low or this low on the near term. Technically relatively equal. Practically very easy to get an attack. So let's see. So yeah, I like the close below encroachment initially on this one. I will change the color to gray because I don't want to see this act as a bullish array though, right? I would really love to see it just melt below it and stay heavy, because that would be like the ideal nature of this price run. On the 5-minute, it digs into this down candle here, this consolidation, but the liquidity is there, right? So it would kind of make sense to consider that. Formed another little bearish fair value gap right here. Yeah, that's good to have because that's another PD array that we should not breach on the upside, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PD arrays potentially defending us. I mean the stop loss, which is here. If we start accelerating lower, I will move the stop loss to secure the break even. All right. Well, I got some YouTube error. I have technically a good connection, but for some reason YouTube is not getting enough video. So I don't know if it works or not, but regardless, this is the trade. So it's stalling a little bit in this inefficiency here. And now giving a large up candle. So that's generally not what I want to see. Can this happen and still be good? In theory, yes. In practice, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I might cut a bait here, and maybe eventually re-enter if it's still good potentially later. But yeah, I mean, it feels like a risky situation here. Yeah, if I could get out on break even, I would be glad. But let's not be greedy. Let's take the $20 loss. Hopefully, didn't get slipped too much. I might have though. But yeah, I guess taking a small loss in here after it did this much of energy to the upside was probably a good decision. I mean, when it takes this high, then it was definitely a good decision because then I would get a full stop out. But instead, I was able to save my stop for the majority part and take only $22 loss. So it's pretty much in the realm of break-even type of loss instead of a full loss, which is good, I guess. I mean, I tried. I had an idea. I made a try. And the idea eventually failed. Uh, Price made an aggressive run for another higher high. And that's it, right? And there is no reason to be upset, no reason to be like, I don't know, sad or concerned or anything like that. It's actually amazing that I was able to save the full stop out while it began initially it began quite interesting, quite nicely, but it turned around to be a run on my stop or for my stop, which is kind of convenient, right? It had relative equal highs in here that it just took, and yeah, the buy side is still close to us, so we should aggressively continue towards the buy side. Otherwise, that may have been just a stop hunt. But I just don't want to be guessing though. Anyway, not every session must be executed perfectly and delivered what you want. That's the thing. Being content with enough, being content with navigating like this and not not like demanding that you need to make something out of it every time. That's pretty important in terms of the mindset. Nonetheless, in this displacement higher here, we formed several PD arrays. We have this fair value gap here. We have this discount weak, consecutive encroachment, and we have this busy also laying over top of a quadrant. So we have technically 3 discount arrays in this vicinity. And we are going into the macro. And yes, we are very close to the buy side. So if the price proved me wrong in here a little bit and displaced higher again, but taking the buy side only shallowly, any retracement into this busy potentially should see an upside swarm into the buy side. Yeah, that's kind of what I would reasonably expect based on this, based on the idea that I had short in here that failed, based on what we have right now, those 3 discount arrays, and still the buy side to be reached, and macro, unless we breach this busy, unless we lose this busy, right, then it kind of makes sense to see it potentially seek or make a run on the buy side during the macro. Will it even touch the busy? I don't know. It might not, but in case it does, that would be like the 1 to 2 type of idea. I would even grade it with the quadrants here. So we got the touch to the busy. We got the touch to the busy. I didn't click the buy button there yet. So I wonder whether this is it, and or we get a deeper run into this busy still, which up to consecutive encroachment is completely reasonable, right? I'm gonna change my strategy in here. I will take one close proximity entry on one contract, and that will obviously reduce my risk at the same time. And just in case, I mean, if we will make another attempt to run into it, I will just watch and see how it does. And if it does poorly, then I will just not add. If it does well, then I can always add another one slightly lower, aiming for that buy side. So yeah, the consequent encroachment of that is kind of like the line in the sand. I don't want to breach generally, and I'm suspecting that within this PDRA, we should see expansion to the buy side if it's correct. So yeah, this should be rather quick and large in its displacement when it starts, because we are so close to the buy side and it's so clean that I would suspect that they will really aggressively want to take the price up there. I mean, so far this touch into the busy here, that's perfect, ideal touch that you would want to see. It couldn't even reach the upper octane off of this busy, right? So it means that it's really, really strong and bullish. And couple that with the buy side liquidity here, it should just have no issues shooting up there. By the way, I feel like my trading view okay, it froze a little bit. It wasn't updating the candle fast enough. But yeah, that's the large up candle that was expected. And it should just now keep on going, reach into the buy side, fill me and get me out of this. And yeah, regardless, I'll be content with this business here. I would like to see this act as institutional aura for entry drill and shoot up. Okay, let's see if we can pump into it. I don't like, I wouldn't like to lose this busy here personally, but yeah. All right, so we are in the striking distance here. We got the buy side. Let's see if we can get a couple handles above it, so I can get my feel. All right, we are not getting those couple handles above it. Regardless, I will secure the break even on this one. Whatever happens, happens. I still would suspect that it should do that, but just in case if it rolls over, then I don't want to turn this into a loss. So yeah, we went above the bicep, but only with this short little wick, and that's generally not enough, or not something that I would consider being like a purge on liquidity. So just for the banter now, I take the limit higher into the key level, and I want to allow it to show me maybe a deeper run above it or not. I would get filled with this one here for sure. I'm trying to finesse a deeper purge above the buy side. Now we close above it, and let's see. Okay, fair enough. Like slightly deeper than my original idea. Eyeballing midpoint between this and this level, around here. So yeah, regardless, that was the execution here. And it does push a little bit higher, which is sweet. But yeah, the result, 59 bucks in profit eventually, after initial small little break-even type of loss, where I closed the trade manually by hand, after seeing that it's breaching all of the arrays that were supposed to support my idea on the downside. I was being offside there. This run proved it to me, removed the doubt about it not getting up into this here, the buy side though. And then I was able to utilize this busy as my means of entry. I used a close proximity entry in like eventually, and I used one contract instead of two. I mean, yeah, original idea was to buy two on limit here with stop loss slightly below that, and that would work just perfectly fine. I would be the closest to the low of this retracement as I could be, and still like have 2 contracts on with reasonably smaller risk, like $80. And obviously that would have been a superior execution then to this little blip, but nonetheless, I'm content. I'm content with enough. Still fighting with the drawdown. 49,409 even. That's the account balance for today. And yeah, that's going to be it. So thanks for watching. Though. Thanks, Koho-san. And see you guys next time. By the way, Mr. Ashley SUV, I don't know if you listened to this or not. I had to time you out because your messages were distracting to me. And yeah, I really don't want to allow any distractions from the chat. And you didn't listen to stop pushing ideas on me. And I really don't care. I don't care about else opinions about what they see in the price when I trade, because if I would care, then I'm not trading myself anymore. I'm just guessing, I'm just blind, I'm just, making like irrelevant, irresponsible decisions, which I just don't want to leave any space for that. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, anyone who stayed until the end, and I wish you guys a pleasant remainder of the day, and see you soon, hopefully, and bye bye.